It's Wednesday, which means it's time to preview the UEFA Champions League fixtures on the front three. Joining me is Dave. Joining me is Kris. Joining me is Laurence to do so. First up, Gent v Wolfsburg, Dave.
I think they're going to win the tournament, beating out the mighty Man United. There's only one team for it. Going to beat Barca, they're going to beat Bayern, and then they're going to beat Real Madrid in the final.
Dave, are you all right?
He's gone all the way. I'm just talking about Gent right now. I'm just talking about Gent.
Yeah, well, again, they've got a lad called Daniel Milicevic. I think he's created the most chances again. 15 in the Champions League this season, and he's also scored 3 goals. So he's the danger man for Gent. For Wolfsburg, they've got a number of men. It's whether they're going to play Kris and probably with Draxler off him. Then you've got Daniel Cagliari and Varane at the other side. Really compact, and they hit United on the break well. They played football very well against Manchester United. So I do like this side a lot. But they've been struggling a little bit in the Bundesliga recently. They're around 9th in the Bundesliga. So they need to potentially kick on in Europe to make this campaign a good one.
What do you make of that, Kris? Because perceived wisdom would be Wolfsburg are the favourites going into this one. But as Dave says, they've been struggling. They won on Saturday. That was their first win in 6. Maybe Gent could sort of get something out of this game.
I think Gent are a bit unpredictable. They were really strong in the group stages. I was impressed with what they were able to achieve relative to their size. They've had a little bit of an indifferent start, though. They've lost 2 games to Club Brugge recently, one in the Cup, one in the League. Managed to get a win at the weekend fairly comfortable. I find them a bit of an unpredictable team in that sense, and I wouldn't envy really the task facing Wolfsburg in this one.
I still think, though, that Wolfsburg have got the potential to unleash on another side. I mean, as much as we've seen them be very changeable in their form, they've lost some games, 3-2, 2-0, 3. There's been some ridiculous results in there for them this season, considering they want to be a side that's going to climb the league. I still consider that they've got the potential to unload on a side. The problem is when they're actually challenged, I feel like Wolfsburg fold in that sense. Do you think I'm right in saying that? Because I don't think United offered anything near a good enough challenge, and when they did, then Wolfsburg weren't really up to it.
I really like Wolfsburg. I really, really like them, how they played. The manager's been doing a very, very good job. Heckens over the last sort of few seasons. And I just think that they can play this. There's so many different styles that they can play that they can sit back away again and they can hit them on the break, and then they can go to Wolfsburg and dominate the ball. Players like Luis Gustavo, very, very strong in the tackle and central midfield. That's very important in the Champions League as you get to the latter stages. A real player to break it up, and then Max Arnold sitting next to him in central midfield, the box-to-box type player that sort of unleashes that front four. So I think that they have capabilities that I'm not sure the whole of Europe has sort of got on the bandwagon of Wolfsburg yet. Obviously, they came second in the Bundesliga last season. We can't forget they're obviously losing Kevin De Bruyne, but I feel that it will eventually click for them with their new signings that they did bring in the in sort of off season in the summer. Sort of going to be there for about 6 months, 9 months, and then it will all click together. Especially Julian Draxler. We've seen moments of brilliance in the Champions League, especially against Chelsea a few seasons ago. Absolutely awesome performance.
Is it going to click for them tonight, though, Dave? What's your score prediction?
3-0 Wolfsburg.
3-0. Wow. Kris?
I think 2-1 to Wolfsburg.
Laurence?
1-1. I'm going to say 1-1 between the two sides.
I'll go for 2-1 Wolfsburg as well. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Now on to the lesser match of the evening, guys. I mean,
yes.
This one's the one that most people are arguing. It's not stacked. It's not Champions League football, this one, guys. Where are we going to go first? Let's go to Real Madrid first. Dave, talk to me a little bit about Madrid under Zidane, and this arguably being his biggest test so far.
So this is definitely Zidane's biggest test so far. Had a bit of a difficult test against Bilbao, a very difficult side to play against at the moment. But they got through that test. They won 4-2. They've switched to a 4-3-3, possession orientated. The ball's rotated a lot in central midfield. Then it goes to the fullbacks. Toni Kroos is the key man for me, holding in midfield at the weekend. I'd like to see Casemiro introduced into that midfield, though, give them a bit of bite, especially in this first leg that's going to be away from home. They get Casemiro holding, and then Kroos and Modric in front of him. Toni Kroos scored a brilliant goal at the weekend where he got forward, played a 1-2, got into the box and took the ball away fantastically. I think that getting him further up the pitch, getting him closer to the opposition's penalty area could only be a positive for Real Madrid.
Kris, let's go to the Italian side, Roma. I mean, looking at their season so far, you'd say there was so much hope at the beginning of the season.
It's definitely been arduous in periods for Roma. And, Dave talks about the bite of Casemiro. In my head, Nainggolan instantly jumped into my head as giving that for Roma. And I think that could be important in terms of shutting down the key kind of playmakers for Real Madrid. I think what you can say about Roma is after that defeat to Juventus, they've picked up. They've got some solid results. Against Carpe at the weekend, Dzeko managed to find the net, which is the first time in a few months he's done that. I really like El Shaarawy personally. I think he's often misconstrued as a very simple player, but I think there's a lot of kind of dynamism to his play. You hope that things start to turn around for them because, again, like I said, it's been an arduous season, and as you rightly said there yourself, Laurence, it was built on a lot of hope, which I think in some ways has made the fall seem a little bit grander than it was.
Yeah, good point. I mean, looking at that front line, I mean, looking at the way they've even been playing, Dave, it's another Italian side with 3 at the back.
So Spalletti, he's come into Roma, taken over from Rudy Garcia. Rudy Garcia was a big believer in a 4-3-3. Didn't change it at all, whether they were winning, whether they were losing. They played a high line, pressing up the pitch. We saw the 2 crazy games against Leverkusen in the group stages. I think it was 7 goals apiece. But what Spalletti's come in to do, he's made them tactically more aware. He's brought in the 3 at the back. They can play like a 3-4-3, or they can play a 4-3-3, or they can play a 4-2-3-1. I think it's the flexibility that Spalletti brings in that, potentially they could put Diego Perotti, who's been very impressive since he's come over from Genoa, at false 9.
Yeah.
Then get El Shaarawy coming in from one flank, and then whoever's going to be on the other side, whether it be Mo Salah or, another one of their attacking players. So that could cause Real Madrid a lot of trouble, because I thought the weakness, again, I mentioned before, Casemiro's got to be in there. If you have Perotti up against Toni Kroos, I think there can be only winner in this current form, that Perotti will sort of, he'll get in behind Toni Kroos, and he'll dictate from behind him, and he'll bring these attackers in, which, is going to be dangerous for Real Madrid to deal with, considering how high their fullbacks are.
I don't think I'd want a striker. If I'm Spalletti, I don't think I want any of my strikers going up against Varane as well. I don't think you're going to win that competition.
Yeah.
So don't even try and match up. Just pull away and give someone who can drop into space, and even drag them out so there's a huge gap in theory between the 2 fullbacks to exploit
for Salah and maybe Firenze to exploit, basically.
So surely Real Madrid are the favourites, Laurence. They're undefeated under Zidane in 6 games. Would you go along with that? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go... I don't think they are the kind of side at the moment who are going to keep a clean sheet, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Real Madrid.
Ooh, Kris?
Yeah, maybe even 3-1. But I think it'd be let's go 3-1 Real Madrid. I think Ronaldo really fancies it.
Ooh, of course he does. Kris?
I'm going to agree with my learned friend there. I think they can't keep a clean sheet, but they do like to score a goal or 2.
And Dave?
I can't decide either a tactical 1-1 draw or like a 5-1 spanking. I'm going to go with a 5-1.
Okay.
I'm going to go 5-1.
5-1?
Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think it's just Roma are going to implode.
And people are going to laud Zidane as the next guy back.
No, let's go. I'm going to go for 2-1 for Real Madrid. But anyway, listen. Those were our predictions, but get your predictions down in the comments below for Gent versus Wolfsburg, and of course Roma through Real Madrid. Thank you very much for watching this preview. Stay tuned to this channel. Make sure you subscribe for more videos coming up in the future. We'll see you next time.